500,000 Americans fall off of ladders every year. 300 of those folks never survive it. Well, hey everybody, it's Cowboy Steve of Building a 1,000-Year Home. So today I'm standing in front of some stairs that I bought from a salvage yard. They came from Mexico. They were used in a dry goods store there to get up in the second loft. Well, that just so happens that it fits real well on a shipping container. Now, my shipping container is 2 feet off the ground, so you would see that would just fit right on the top. What I'm going to do here today is I'm going to replace the treads that are rotten. I've already pulled one out, and I'm going to give you dimensions while I go, so you could go ahead and make a dimensional ladder that would fit. Now, this isn't ADA or any such thing, right? This is a service ladder I'm using to get up and down while I build. It's sturdy, so I feel confident going up with a bag of concrete on my shoulders. In addition, the angle's not that bad. It's not like going up and down a steel rung ladder or something, right? An aluminum ladder. You don't get the... It's confidence. If I was to leave that up there for some reason, I'd put a safety rail on it. But you do you. I move it around from shipping container to shipping container because I'm in the middle of a construction. You may not have that problem, right? You might be able to make something like that. Let's go ahead and make some measurements so y'all can see what we're working with here. All right, so I've got 29 and a half outside. Inside, I've got 25 and 3/4. It looks like they notched everything to fit all these stairs, then beveled the edges so you don't snag yourself going in up and down. This was built out of non-treated lumber. I'm going to use treated when I put it back together. Let me see what this stuff is. It's your conventional 8x2s, American Standard by each one of these is going to be 26 1/4 wide. The uprights are 11 feet 2 inches. Obviously, you could go farther, but I don't know at what point the ladder would feel flimsy. This doesn't. It's rock solid. Again, I move it around with my tractor. Last dimension between treads for y'all. Right there, about 9 1/8. Let me see if they're consistent. Yeah, they're consistent. 9 1/8. You know, those Mexican carpenters are darn good. In Santa Fe, they've got that spiral staircase built by an itinerant Mexican carpenter that came up and built that. And everybody says it's Joseph. Mary's Joseph came and built that on that church. Well, maybe. I don't know. You know, I ain't going to take it away from them. But I also won't take it away from your skilled itinerant Mexican craftsman. He could have done it too. So that's who did this. Okay, that's who did this. So there's your dimensions that they used. It is solid. I'm going to go ahead, pull these treads out, trace them, just cut them, put them back in, screw them in, call it a day.
It hums indeed. Dust rolls soft like an endless sea. A broken wheel leans on the gate. Time's a circle, don't it wait? Oh, desert winds, they sing, carry me far on a hollow string, round and round where the old roots cling. Oh, desert winds, they sing, they sing.
Also gonna paint these tonight, right? You know, I got a little paint to do. That's some gray.
The banjo wails, the fiddle weeps, 1,000 stars that don't forget. The moon's a coin, it's always set. And the mandolin sighs, oh, it sighs like echoes lost in open sky. Oh, desert winds, they sing, carry me far on a hollow string, round and round where the old roots cling. Oh, desert winds, they sing, they sing. Lone hawk calls, no one hears. Washboard rattles through the years. Pedal steel bends, the notes just fall like sand slipping through it all.
Well, I'm very happy replacing these treads. Look at that. So it was time. I was definitely taking my life in my chance. The deal is, as I went up these, right, I was looking at this side, and then one day I took a look underneath, and I'm like, oh, I'm in big trouble. So these stairs could be reversed either way. Well, when I first got this thing, I went ahead and treated it with the treatment that preserves the wood. It was too far gone. And that's all right, you know, but going up and down it, I've been wanting to fix this in a while, and I went and found a bunch of inexpensive wood at Lowe's, so I was happy to buy that. So I don't want these steps to almost fit. I want them to exactly fit, right? So I'm just going to spend a minute, trace out the old ones, and then make sure I cut just right, where they fit just right. And then on each corner, I'll go ahead and put that little notch. Then I'll paint everything up so that it'll last a little longer. The last thing I'll do is get some treated, and at the bottom of that ladder, I'll go ahead and put a treated cradle for the ladder to sit into. Stairs, I guess I could call them stairs. They're somewhere in between, right? So I'm always racing that sun, so it won't get all the way done. Let me see if I can get this cut, though, and painted and dry fit and all that kind of stuff. Look here what that guy did. He cut it wider on the top and narrow on the bottom to make it fit in there. So I'm going to slide it in, and I'm going to mark it. So, you know, he cut it at an angle, maybe? That guy knew more than I did. Yeah, it looks like they're all going at an angle. All right, so you can see up there at the top, it's beginning to walk out. See, the gap here is bigger than the gap there. And then I'm going to paint those spots so they don't rot so fast. And one day, maybe I'll have to fix this. But I think I paid $50, maybe $100 for it, but probably $50. Well, you can't build, you know, that was that much in lumber. Save me the time. So fixing, you know, repurposing, that has some value. I mean, let me take a stab. I'm going to take a stab at cutting them corners in, just like he did. I'm going to go ahead and put that up in there while it's wet. Drive some screws in it. move on to the next tread. I've got 3 that are really bad that I'm going to replace, and then I'll go from there. All right, so I'm going to use an impact driver in there to drive the edges to the new boards and tighten them up. And then the other ones are in with some rusty nails, so I might do those as well. I've got 2.5 and 3-inch construction screws of various kinds. Halfway down the ladder, I think I'll drill it out, and I'll put in some big 6-inch lags on that and kind of keep the middle part real tight. I might do the same thing on the new ones too, put one long lag in there. Depends on how many of these treads I do. Anyway, I'll drive them in, and that way the ladder will stay together real well, and I'll feel real comfortable going up and down on that. The last step's a doozy, so I might put some kind of reference board, you know, coming up on that I know where the entrance and exit from the shipping containers are. If my shipping container was on the ground, that would fit perfect height. So my shipping container is 2 foot up off the ground. So, all right, let me go ahead and do this. All right, see how that lag bolt brought that right up, but some of them are still loose. So I'm going to go ahead and fix those. This bottom step I'm going to go ahead and fix. Then I'll put lag bolts back in there. Apparently these nails aren't doing anything on that ladder, so it's a good repair for me to do it. And then once I get it done, I might paint the whole thing. But I'm in a hurry. I got a house to build, and doing doodaddies isn't what I want to do. All right, well, now that I've got it on the ground, I'm going to go ahead and put these lag bolts in there with the impact driver. It's the right answer. I want to drive the rails in tight. All right, well, those nails aren't doing any lifting anymore, right? So I will get lag bolts and run lag bolts through each one of those treads. So it'll be a little longer before I get that up there. There's your dimensions. Listen, you know, 70% of accidents happen at home on ladders. So messing around and halfway doing this thing would not be in my benefit. So anyway, I will get it fixed up right. You saw the process. I cut it. I used the old stringers as a template. Cut it a little, you know, where I could put it in. It didn't draw it tight. I put a lag bolt in it, drew it real tight. We'll rotate and look here. All right, well, I'm not going to hold you all, but I am going to do a wrap up real quick here in case you want to build that, right? It was 11 foot 2 inches long. They were 26 and an 1/8 inch wide treads. They was a 15-degree angle to cut that little angle. The fella that cut this before me 50, 100 years ago, he cut it at least an 1/8 inch deep on each one of those. It's a 2x8. Everything here was a 2x8. Some of them was maybe an older 2x8, which was closer to 8 than 7 3/4 or whatever the modern ones are. And then, of course, get your dimensions for the stair treads. Distance, I already did that once. I've forgotten what those were, but, you know, 9 or whatever they happen to be. Between treads, oh, I guessed that right, 9. And then your standard tread pitch, let's see, I'm just going to guesstimate that looking at it. I'm going to guess one board's going to be, let's say, 2 inches. If I drew a T-square in there, that's probably a 2-inch angle. Maybe a 2.5, 2 1/4. And so these and that, right, is your rise run. And I'm going to guess 2 1/4. All right, that's all your fittings right there, all your dimensions. You could build one of these yourselves as a construction ladder. I like antiques. I put them back to work, but they've got to be safe. All right, this is Cowboy Steve of Building a 1,000-Year House. Like, subscribe, follow me along. Thanks so much. Bye.
Oh, desert winds, they sing, carry me far on a hollow string, round and round where the old roots cling. Oh, desert winds, they sing, they sing. The lone hawk calls, no one hears. Washboard rattles through the years. Pedal steel bends, the notes just fall like sand slipping through